If you shoot with the A7 IV, the A7S III, or any camera with a flip screen, then don't use an L bracket as it'll only frustrate you. Flippy screens and L brackets don't mix well at all. Now I do have a solution to the L bracket problem, and with my setup you'll get 99% use of the flippy screen and the L bracket all in one, with only one compromise, but we'll get onto that in a minute. And I have a confession to make. Even though I am a photographer, I do love flippy screens. It gives me the ability to take shots at lots of different angles and heights without having to strain to see the screen or to kind of guess my composition. I do really like L brackets as well, and this gives me the ability to switch between horizontal and vertical orientation really quickly. So this is an L bracket. It fits on the side of the camera and it gives you two different mounting options. You can see I've got the mounting point for the bottom and a mounting point for the side. But when you flip this screen out, you can't turn it. It does have this cutout in between where I can put it in there and then look down, but you kind of have to maneuver it around and then in, and then it feels like this corner is going to scratch the screen. So let's say if you're photographing an event, you might want to take a few shots low down and then a few shots up high. You take the shots low down, you have to pull the screen in, flip it the other way, and then put it back, and then shoot high. It doesn't sound like much, but when you're in a high pressured situation or you're chasing the light or you've got a few seconds to get those photographs, it really matters and it really gets in the way. Now, I talked about this in a previous video with the A7siii, and a few commented saying, well, just take this side bit off. And you can do that, but that kind of defeats the object of having an L bracket in the first place. There, if I take that off, then it just becomes an extension to the bottom of the camera, and you might as well just have a quick release plate on the bottom. Now with this side plate, you can pull it out like that. So I'll lock it in place there, but still gets in the way. Not as much. You can kind of tilt it back a little bit, but you've got an angle on that screen. And when you're trying to line your camera up, it's always nice to have the screen lined up as well. And again, you can tuck it underneath that, but it really does feel like this is going to scratch the screen. The same the other way. You've got to get it in position and then get it there. Now there are two Allen key points on the side here, and you can loosen these a little bit and move this bit forward. Now this gives a bit more, but it is literally about 2 millimeters. So again, it's just properly in the way. And this is why L brackets and flippy screens don't mix whatsoever. The solution I've come up with comes in two parts. It's a small rig half cage and one of these little quick release plates. I'll just take my gloves off because these are just getting in the way. If I put this on, you can see with this, I can move this flippy screen freely. I can twist it both ways. I've got full movement with this half cage attached. They've addressed the flippy screen by bringing this side bit forward and in. Now with these half cages, they're covered in these mounting points. They're basically your tripod threads, and these are 1/4 20, and sometimes they have the 3/8 16 threads as well. These come in really handy. Now I've got one of these Peak Design quick release plates, and these are the smallest ones I could find. There are other companies that make them this size as well. They're the ones that basically go in that capture clip that I always have on my rucksack. All I do is find the middle one, and that's the one with the line on it, and attach it to that. Now I've got a mounting point on the bottom and a mounting point on the side. So if I want to be in that horizontal position, I'll mount it here. Then if I want to be in that vertical position, I'll mount it here. Now, with that plate on the side, I can use my flip screen, and again, this doesn't get in the way at all. So when I'm shooting handheld, I can have the screen down and I can have the screen up. It's not going to get in the way whatsoever. And then when I want to go to a tripod vertical mount, that plate is there and I attach it there. It's nice and solid. I have links to both of these in the description below, and I bet no matter what camera you shoot with, you could probably get a cage or a half cage and do this if you really wanted to. Now, one downside to this is if you're a hybrid shooter and you use the HDMI port, it does get in the way a little bit, so I can't open that port. However, if you mount this to the bottom, you can still get to the HDMI. You have access to all of the other ports like your microphone, your headphone jack, and also your multi-port and USB-C port. And again, it doesn't get in the way. Now, if you do use a capture clip from Peak Design and you want to store it on your backpack strap, I just get another Peak Design quick release plate and put that on the bottom. It seems like overkill, but hanging it in the vertical oriented position like this just feels a bit weird. Feels top heavy and it hangs down. So this is my complete setup. I've got a quick release plate on the bottom of the half cage, obviously the half cage on the camera, then another quick release plate on the side. Another thing that these half cage or full cages give you is a little bit more protection with your camera. If I drop it on this bottom corner or this top shoulder, it just protects them a little bit. I dropped my A7C a while ago. I had a full cage on that, and it did save it from it being completely destroyed. The Flippy screen is a little bit more of a floppy screen than a Flippy screen, but it still works. Also, a bonus, by using one of these cages, you can take this quick release plate off and put it on one of these quarter threads on the top. So basically, you then hang it from the top. The camera's the right way round, and then you can use that Flippy screen again as normal. This is just an added bonus. I don't do this all the time, but I've used it every now and then. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And if you like this video, check this one out next. I'll see you next time.